Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky settlement school impacted by the flooding in July attempts to save decades worth of Appalachian history. And a local business holds a donation drive to help Eastern Kentucky schools that lost countless numbers of books to the floodwater.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6:32 on this Tuesday, Monday 2.0. We are all smiles and good attitudes over here this morning. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, fog. So that's about the story for today.
It's in here, it's out there.
It's everywhere.
It's just everywhere this morning. So yeah, be careful out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. Hopefully you're getting up and you'll have plenty of time to kind of get ready and get going. But it's foggy for sure this morning. Zero visibility or close to it by the numbers out there. And I think there's only a couple of spots, including Wise and Ashland, that are above that 5-mile threshold. Still lots of places close to zero visibility. And that's even the airport sensors. The good news is if you're traveling the Mountain Parkway near the Wolf-Powell County line, not too bad up there this morning near Slade. So that's some good news up that way as we start the day. Looking at temperatures between 59 in Clintwood and 64 in Manchester. Also Jackson back to 64 as well this morning. They're bouncing back and forth just a little bit there, but it's a chilly morning to start the day. 9 degrees colder in Hazard from this time yesterday morning. 8 degrees colder in Prestonsburg and London. 7 degrees colder in Moorhead to start the day. Back out the next dozen hours there, your dozen donuts forecast. You're going to be seeing temperatures and by lunchtime in the 70s. As we get some more donuts out of the way there, you'll see we get top out in the 80s this afternoon. It's going to be a very pleasant day, maybe just a few more clouds later this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. An 81-year-old man here in Perry County is still looking for help after his home and dog were swept away in the flood. Harold Riley lives in Buckhorn, and on the night of the flooding, he was jolted awake by a phone call from his neighbors. Well, they needed a ride after their road slipped because of the rain, so he left his home and dog behind and went to go help. Well, when he left, there was not much water to be found, but when he returned, his house was surrounded by rushing water. His home, his dog, and belongings were swept away. Now he is processing what happened and working to move forward.
We've always watched the creek, and it's got up some, but done no damage to nothing. But this one, it done the damage. It tore everything up.
Riley was denied his FEMA request, but is appealing. He is currently living in an unfinished building without electricity or a bathroom. The Heidemann Settlement School in Knott County has been collecting Appalachian history since its founding in 1902. Well, now it fears what might be forever lost after the flood. Our Chandler Wilcox tells us how the school is working to save its history.
Water came flowing out of the bank and rushing into the Heidemann Settlement School.
You can see the water line on the window there. So at different parts of this building, the water was 48 inches, 52 inches. You can see when the water was building up out here, it burst our doors in.
The flood tore through their office spaces and archives dating back a century.
So in these rooms, we had photographs, paper documents and journals. We had quilts. We had all sorts of books, and we saved what we could.
Water got into their museum space, which is the old home of a man named Uncle Saul, who came up with the idea of the school in the early 1900s.
We currently have it drying out. We definitely need a cleaning company to come in and clean all the dirt and all that kind of stuff.
People who were staying at the school were able to get out before the water got too high, but not without losing some of their property.
So his vehicle floated probably over or around the bridge and was deposited here.
Now, as they gather supplies for the community, they also are storing archives and freezers to give them time to clean.
We could have cleaned them, but we were running out of time and they were starting to get damaged, so we wanted to press pause. Or they were things like a book that I don't know how to appropriately clean.
While they clean through the damage, Melissa says the leadership is considering moving to higher ground. In Heidemann, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Helton also says more food and cleaning supplies need to be donated to help the community recover. During the last few weeks, several mountain communities have stepped up to help areas impacted by the flood. While many groups and organizations help flood victims to rebuild, one Eastern Kentucky county is shifting its focus to bring comfort to a younger group of flood survivors to help children impacted by the flood. The city of Salyersville is partnering with Magoffin County Schools to host a toy and school supply drive this week.
We've heard this phrase quite a bit throughout COVID, getting back to normal, some form of normalcy, and getting to school was a form of normalcy for students. So play is also something normal for kids. So we want to be able to support kids in getting back to something normal.
Well, if you live in Magoffin County and are a parent of school-aged children, you can drop off any toy or school supply donations at your child's school or at the Magoffin County Board of Education. Any other donations can be dropped off at Salyersville City Hall or the Health Department. Karma Spa and Salon here in Hazard is also giving back to schools affected by historic flooding. Owner Kayla Holbrook says she saw a post on social media where school libraries were damaged by floodwaters. She says her business is now collecting reading material for any preschools and elementary schools in flood-impacted counties.
If your child can read well, that opens so many doors, and they can learn things for themselves if they can read the material. So it's important to have good readers in your home and good reading material in your home. And it starts at school.
Well, the salon is taking books or coloring books through this week from 9 to 6. It is located next to primary care here in Hazard. Hazard Community and Technical College staff is working directly with students impacted by the flooding to help get them back on campus. HCTC President and CEO Dr. Jennifer Linden says they are offering many resources to help students and staff. She says students that are not ready to start yet can take 12-week classes beginning on September 12th. Counseling is available online and in person, and there are laptop computer loans for students that lost theirs in the flood.
What's really been apparent to us throughout this tragedy has been the resilience of our students. We've seen so many students come in who've lost everything. And when we talk to them, they talk about hope. They talk about continuing their education. They talk about completing that education because they know it's their path to a better life.
Dr. Linden says staff members are passionate about their students and want to help them get back on campus as soon as they are ready. A Lexington private school continues to collect donations to help Breathitt and Floyd County schools. Last week, Lexington Christian Academy seniors Andrea Newland and Colby Bruner organized a backpack drive for students in Floyd County. 110 backpacks were donated, stuffed with school supplies. The Academy's next mission is to collect monetary donations and buy clothes and shoes for students in Breathitt County schools.
We weren't given this stuff to just sit there and do nothing. We were given it to go help others and bless others, because that's what Jesus would want us to do.
Anyone can donate. If you'd like to give, you can look for this story on our website. Well, the fall semester is underway at the University of Kentucky. More than 32,000 students have enrolled for the new academic year and took their seats for the first time yesterday. UK spokesperson Jay Blanton says students came from across the Commonwealth and the country. The university says taking care of tens of thousands of people in a concentrated area comes with challenges, especially with Fayette County sitting in the red zone for COVID-19. Students say they are grateful the school has relaxed COVID policies in place.
I'm just excited to have the more immersive, like hands-on learning experience that I haven't had in almost 2 years.
In regards to COVID guidelines, officials say anyone who wants to wear a mask is encouraged to do so.
.640 here on this Tuesday morning. We are looking at some foggy conditions outside the WYMT studios in Hazard, and it is currently 61 here in town this morning. We're seeing dew points still pretty low there, low 60s, just like the air temperatures. So again, visibility pretty rough at the airport and basically zero outside the WYMT studios. Temperatures across the region, 59 in Clintwood, actually 59 in Wise too. They dropped just a little bit there. Still 64 though, Jackson and Manchester this morning. So kind of that range there, but a lot of low 60s out there to start your day. Next 6 hours heading up to right around 80 by 1 o'clock this afternoon. And as we head deeper into the daytime hours today and tomorrow, even on Thursday, we're going to start to see the heat build in on our emoji cast. Sunny and nice today. Enjoy that sunshine. Sunglasses and sunscreen will be your friend today. It'll start to warm up tomorrow. And then summertime gets here on Thursday as we get up into the upper 80s for daytime highs. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It's almost 6:42. Still to come here on Mountain News this morning. A group of scientists may have created a new pill to deal with pesky food allergies if people are able to keep it down. That's next.